Hello everyone, I'm Trey Rich and you are watching The Buzz. We have an amazing show for you today. On today's show, we welcome the unapologetic Jason Lee, and in our artist spotlight, we have Joss Stone. It's only a few more days left to spend all that leftover PPP money for the holidays. I know you got some shopping to do. Let's start the show.
Hey, I'm Jake Paul. Let's get buzzed.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
No, you're not Jake. You're
Gotcha.
Logan.
Okay everyone, we have a great show today, so I'm not going to waste any time. First up, we have Hollywood Unlocked's Jason Lee. Felicia Michelle has a sit down with him and he says nothing is off limits. So let's check it out.
Cancel culture didn't get us. Bet you thought we weren't gonna make it, but never would have made it without you and Fox Soul. So we're happy. Listen, Jada, listen, I have interviewed Cardi B, Amber Rose, senators, Al Sharpton about getting out of jail. I've interviewed so many people. My staff rarely get excited, but they're so excited that you're on the show today. They're like, she don't never do interviews. She don't never talk to nobody, and they just love you. I realize that a lot of what I do and what some of us do in delivering the news that we do is sometimes we put a little bit on it or a little bit too much on it, and I think what we're trying to do gets lost in the delivery. And I'm learning just as I grow to be okay with evolving and looking at your career and you evolving from stand-up to just a global icon now in comedy and in film.
Welcome to The Buzz. I'm Felicia Michelle, and I'm here with a guest that literally doesn't need any introduction. If you don't know this face, then you really don't know what's happening in the world of entertainment. Welcome to The Buzz, Jason Lee.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You know, you've had Hollywood Unlocked now, and Hollywood Unlocked and Fox Soul have collaborated together for your show. So tell us more about your new show. Thursday nights, right?
Thursday nights, yeah. We're going into season 3. So we launched about a year ago, partnered with James DeBose, who I was interacting with through Queen Latifah. I met, Queen Latifah when I was 15, and over the years have developed this relationship. So one day at Flavor Unit, I meet this guy named James, and he's like, yo, we're gonna work together. And I said, okay. And James was the executive producer of Dish Nation. And so he said, well, why don't you come on Dish Nation and see if you like it? And I just thought, like, these white people over here, they're not gonna be able to handle me because Hollywood Unlocked is uncensored and unfiltered. And I say whatever I want, whatever I think. And many times, people are just like, I can't believe he said that. I think last week I said I wanted to have sex with Will Smith. Got calls about that. But anyway.
Why is that a controversy? Like, that shouldn't be any controversy.
Right,
He's Will Smith.
Right, but in our media right now, there's, it's just, we live in a space where Black folks can have it all, but it is dominated by white folks. And they hold the purse strings. And so when I went over to Dish Nation and worked with James, I just loved how he was excited about me being unfiltered. And he was really supportive of me just being uniquely myself. And I didn't feel like I was boxed into who a network or somebody wanted me to be. So when he went over to Fox Soul, as soon as he got there, he called me and said, hey, let's work together. And now we're going into our 3rd season, and I love it.
So I love that you're talking about that experience through the lens of how it's just different for you, or really different for us being in this industry. You speak very openly about the disparities in opportunity for Black journalists and content creators. Do you ever get nervous about speaking so vocally about that? Because you don't hold back when you talk about this. I mean, you're keeping it real, and I agree with you. But do you ever feel nervous about saying that?
No, because I feel like what's for you is for you. If what's for me is not for them, that doesn't mean that it's still not for me. So when I left Viacom and I did that whole interview with Black Enterprise, where I basically I went to the mall, I had my staff go to the mall, I got a free Jason Lee sweater, and I went on my show and I said, I want off the plantation. I want to be let go. Because we were in the heart of Black Lives Matter, yet I was on a show that was about beating each other up, and it was just contrary to where my spirit was at the time, and I felt like going over to Wild 'N Out, I had outgrown love and hip hop, and I had only gone back to tell my brother's story and launch my book. So once I felt like it just didn't work for me anymore, I didn't understand why in the midst of COVID and not filming and in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement, why won't you let me go? So I started this campaign after they said no, and then they quickly said yes. And then I was surprised at how shocked people were that happened. I feel like many times if you're a reality star, you're deemed a reality star, which I don't claim that title, but you're categorized as a troublemaker, so no matter what you say, it gets drowned out. with this, people actually listened to me, and I was able to be let go. And no, I'm not afraid of being honest. I just feel like being transparent is more what we need right now.
Definitely, and especially because there's, like you said, there's not, the opportunities don't exist in the same ways, very much so like almost boxed in, kind of wanting the rhythm but not the blues, like wanting just a bit of the experience of Black culture but not really wanting the fullness of it when talking about things that are hard topics like BLM, like things that we experience all through 2020. So with that being said, what things are you actively doing now to help combat that in any way that you can?
Well, I look at when I say to myself, what are the two things that I struggled with when I was starting Hollywood Unlocked? It was access and resources. And when I talk to people on Clubhouse or Instagram or Facebook or wherever I'm at, and I'm talking to them about their dreams, all they keep saying is, I don't have access. I don't have the money. I don't know where to go. Nobody's listening to me. I'm like, but then why are you investing so much time complaining about the problem and not figuring out the solution? So I'm happy that we recently opened Hollywood Unlocked Studios, and I'm building a space for people who want to create their own podcast to be able to come into the space. But that came after I built my courses on how to build a successful blog and podcast. And so I literally just left the meeting right now where we finalized the courses, we're getting ready to shoot the courses, and we have all the infrastructure built. Because what I hated was there were two things happening when I started Hollywood Unlocked. I would go in rooms with white people who told me, no. And then I went in rooms with Black people that said, no. I didn't understand both because there were two different experiences happening. White folks didn't want to do it because they didn't believe in me. That all has changed now, especially after Rihanna said she comes to Hollywood Unlocked for her people. But Black folks now that I'm calling out who are sitting in the room that look like me, that have control over the pie and don't cut a slice for Hollywood Unlocked or other people that look like them, I'm calling them out too. And yeah, there's no fear in that because I feel, again, just transparency is more what we need, but also providing the resources to people who want to create their own stuff like I did, the opportunities through education and access to resources.
So when you're like very vocal about calling people out and people who don't want to help them, and one of those things happened on Clubhouse, and I think you may have broken Clubhouse. Like I tried to get on and that thing, like my app crashed because I couldn't even get on to access the app to even get into the room because you were talking and speaking to the powers that be, the people that look like us and we aspire to, the people who, they're probably in your DMs, and we'll just call a spade a spade. You were talking about Karen Civil, who are in her DMs asking for help, as an aspirational, inspirational figure in the community. And then with her not doing that, and you spoke directly to it. Can I ask, why did you decide to do it at that moment? Because it seems like you had a lot of receipts. You had your personal information, things that happened just with you, and then other stories that happened with other people as well.
Yeah, there was a major learning experience with that whole thing that went down. So I didn't plan to get in there and talk to Karen because, Karen, I had stopped talking to for a while before that. But once I got text that there was a conversation happening about the thing that I had gone through, I was like, yo, I'm gonna just jump in and listen. So when I jumped in to listen and I heard what was happening and how she was dominating the room and doing the crisis damage control PR thing that she does, I was like, this is the time to really say something, because I know it happened to me, and had I said it before on my own, nobody would have believed me. So I just jumped into the conversation and said what I said, and I give her credit for admitting it. And then I called Charlamagne. I said, I want to come on the Breakfast Club and I want to actually have a conversation, like a real conversation about the cancer of the culture, because she's not the only person. She's the one that I've called out now, but there's a lot of other people out there who are probably clenching their pearls saying, please don't say
Jason,
my name.
please do not say my name.
Yeah. Well, my book is coming out. Their name will be in the book. And the reason for that is because the damage that they're doing to culture leaders like me by boxing us and putting us in a box, labeling us messy, or trying to discard us so that way the real people won't get to the real people behind the culture, and trying to own it all and then manipulate it all for their own self-interest, I don't think that's cool. So yeah, I called her out. And it was funny because I was in Miami when I jumped in and called her out, but then I ended up at dinner with one of the investors of Clubhouse.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, oh my God, like Clubhouse, there's 10,000 people in there right now talking about you. I'm like, pass the shrimp. Let's have dinner. But let that conversation live where it is. But then, again, I think it was a great setup for now, the opportunities that I'm giving to people like me who, want to get on.
We're going to take a quick break and come back to Jason and Felicia. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back. We're going to jump right back in with Jason and Felicia. Let's take a look.
So if someone is watching this interview and they say, I want to work with Jason Lee, I want to get, now I'm sure you don't want them to stalk you. What would you say is somebody who is like going after their dream and they want to reach out to somebody like you who's aspirational, inspirational, or maybe other figures who they find they connect with in some way, and they want to get, I guess, a little of their knowledge. Let me pick your brain is not the DM to send.
No. Let me pick your brain. Can you listen to my music? Can you help me? No, because I never went to Queen Latifah. I never went to Rihanna. I never even went to Floyd Mayweather, who became a major supporter of mine, and said, can you help me? I went to them and I said, let me show you what I'm doing. But before I did all that, I built the relationships with them. One thing I would say that people don't do, because people are so hungry to get on that it turns into thirst, is they don't invest in building the relationship. Once you build a relationship with somebody where they trust you, where they feel safe with you, where they know that you're going to be a good steward of their relationships, where you're going to be somebody that can be in their environment, they'll do anything for you. And I say the first thing is just focus on building the relationship. You know, what value do you bring to me? What value do you bring to Hollywood Unlocked? Are you just coming so I can pour water on your seed, or are you bringing your water to the table too? But I've also had people pull up on me in Clubhouse, tell me they want to work for me. Then I watch them follow me around Clubhouse. I watch them listen to me. I watch them buy my book. I watch them post about my book. I watch them study me, and then I hired them because they were invested in really showing me that they want to be down with the Jason Lee and Hollywood Unlocked movement.
So it's just really like how you're moving. Mentorship is important to you, and it is important to get back, which is, I understand it's your name, it's your time, it's your experience, it's invaluable lessons that we'll probably read about in your memoir.
Yeah, no, they're in there. My book, God Must Have Forgot About Me, is out. But, my next book is called How I Stopped Giving a Fuck and Started Winning. And it's a really honest, transparent source of like stories that show you like, I went through this. I have been able to sit in Kim Kardashian's closet with her and Kanye looking at all this rich ass clothes. But then I've also gone and broke the story about Tristan and Jordan. How do you do that? How do you get invited to these people's homes? And then you got to go write the stories about them. But it's almost like, how are you investing in you? Because once you come to work with me or we team up, we're investing in each other. You're not just working for me, I'm investing in you too. And I think that most times people are looking for that, just that quick get me on.
Like a step almost.
Yeah.
Like let me just step up real fast.
Yeah.
Thank you for the boost, but you didn't turn back around or anything. Yeah. Let me ask you a question though, because you talked about having to break that story about Chloe and Tristan, and then but being cool with Kim and Ye. And how do you ever get conflicted? I mean, as a journalist, it's my job to ask a question that might be uncomfortable. It is my job to tell a story factually that may be uncomfortable. But the facts sometimes are like that. But I don't have to usually go back and be like, hey, you want to go to dinner today? I don't really have to do that. How do you balance that?
Well, I don't consider them all friends. Kim is not a friend of mine. Kanye is not a friend of mine. I know Chris, and then I've met the family through them. But I was friends with Rob, and I was bringing Cardi to the house. So that's really the environment. It is challenging at times, but I really feel like I just did a podcast yesterday or day before with Evan Ross, where he invited me to be on some show he's doing. And we were talking about our relationship has nothing to do with my job, with his career, with his mom. I've met his mom, but my affection for him is watching how he is a good son to his mom and how he loves his mom, because I didn't have that relationship with my mom. But he also loves and is just enamored with how I move around and do these stories. And he's like, oh my God, you're crazy. Can you please take that down? I'm like, no. So we have a friendship that's real and solid, but I don't have that with everybody. Rihanna, people say I'm not a good journalist if I'm biased. I told Rihanna, I will never write about you ever again if I can just keep your phone number and be friendly with you. Like, you're the god to me. But she's not doing anything that, is negative to be talked about,
I mean, people were hoping for a baby or album, but
I called her the other day. I said, I'm not asking you nothing about no pregnancy. I ain't posting about nothing about pregnancy. I don't want to know. But I do hope at some point that they have kids, because I love them together. And I love Rocky. I think they're great.
And also that child would be, gorgeous.
That child would be, them together, I always get too drunk. And we were in Miami, and the bottles got the flowing, and I got the signs coming out, and I posted on social media, and it went viral. But I said to both of them, like, I really want to see this work because just for the culture, for fashion, for music,
I mean,
for just everything.
as
like, I
a
love y'all.
power couple,
Yeah.
empire, I guess, like, not to compare, because you don't ever want to compare anybody's journey to someone else. Do you even think like a Beyonce and Jay-Z-esque type of empire or partnership? That would be crazy. The fashions, yes.
But I love how she respects him, but also how he respects her. I watch how he looks at her. I watch how she looks at him, but while she's doing her thing, you need to send me them photos that we took because you playing. I've been waiting for these photos that we took at her Savage Fenty launch. But I love them together, and it's ironic you make the comparison because I really feel like Beyonce and Rihanna are this generation's Prince and Michael Jackson. You know, in very many ways, both iconic, both have their own footing, both superstars, both very different yet, you know, equally talented. So yeah. But I don't think Beyonce would be my friend though, because she reminds me of the girl that's like, like I like him, but stay over there. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, well, you know, you gotta sign that NDA if you want to party with Beyonce. Now, it wouldn't be.
I'd sign it. I would break it, but I would sign it.
But no, you don't want to.
No,
You don't
I
want to
wouldn't
pay
break- I
their
wouldn't break-
lawyers.
I wouldn't
No. Ever any regrets? Do you ever feel like maybe you said something that ever went too far?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to say this. I don't regret anything because the lessons I've learned in crossing the line, you know, I know when I cross the line because social media tells me, you know, like it gets really, really loud. A couple times I've been like, ooh, you know, or I'll get a call. And ironically, people that they think that Cardi and I sit on the phone and gossip, we really don't. She's really a good compass for when I go too far. I did something on my show where I criticized Ariana Grande. And I ain't even gonna say what I said, but it was just a moment in time because the show goes real fast, but it was really bad, you know? And people were calling me saying, don't apologize, who cares? They were making animes online to kill me. Ariana fans were teaming up with the Barbs and they were beating me with sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really
Her
crazy.
fans are like,
They're real.
yeah.
Yeah. Which I respect.
They're small and mighty probably,
But they come out.
Yeah, they're
They
there
come
for
out.
her.
And yeah,
Cardi-
it was really
Cardi told you?
called and just said, you know, you need to apologize. That's a young girl. You crossed the line. That was a lie, and I apologize. Even though everybody told me not to, Cardi said do it, and I did it.
I respect that you stand in that. Well, you got to stand in this game. This game is called Say Less. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna give you the name or a subject, and you're gonna fire back with just one word. I know, Mr. Jason Lee, you have many words.
One
but
word.
Just one word. Okay. Nicki Minaj.
Who?
Tiffany Haddish.
Queen.
Tristan Thompson.
Disgusting.
Wendy Williams.
Hopeful.
Candace Owens.
Trash.
Lil' Kim.
Queen.
I agree with that one, Queen. The baby.
Damn.
The dude from Charlotte.
Damn.
Okay, that's the word. Is that the word? Okay.
Damn.
Kanye West.
Brilliant.
Okay. Britney Spears.
Comeback.
2024.
The year.
Yeah.
Ownership.
Yeah. Okay. And Fox Soul.
Excellence.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're excellence. You know, my problem with us is that we complain about not having, and then we don't support what we have. Now, I love that we are supporting Foxhole, and a lot of people are going to Foxhole, but even this business, Black owned, Black operated. Black is beautiful and Black is rich. And we live in a world where people that look like us are striving for white people's validation. Unless you get the white brand, unless you're in the white building, I don't understand that. I get criticized, I'm not Black enough, then I'm colorist, I'm all these things. And in our culture, there's so many divisions caused by slavery and caused by things that we had no control over, and we continue to perpetuate these divides. Even on Clubhouse, there's the dark side and the mainstream side. I'm like, yo, I'm for the green side. Where that money at? Green is the common denominator. My dollar is just as equal as theirs, but we're gonna control how we spend it with us. We're gonna control how we spend our time. And so, I've been spending time doing more press than I had before because I realized there's like new journalists coming up. I just did some interviews the other day where this girl was just excited to interview me. And I'm thinking like, I don't ever want you to think that I'm getting too big to talk to you because there were people that treated me like that and I would never be that guy. So
Well, that's what you guys heard. Well, you have been buzzed. I'm Felicia Michelle here again with the amazing Jason Lee. Make sure that you check out Hollywood Unlocked on Fox Soul every Thursday.
Yep. And come back to the buzz and keep it buzzing. Cheers.
You can catch Jason Lee on Fox Soul or go to HollywoodUnlocked.com or any of their socials. Up next in our Artist Spotlight, we have the incredible Joss Stone, so don't go anywhere.
Can I remind you about the time you insisted upon being mine?
Joss Stone is best known for her sultry soul vocals, and she's back with a new single, Breaking Each Other's Hearts, that drops Christmas Eve. Felicia talks to her about new music, the holidays, and motherhood. Let's check it out.
I was taken aback, but somehow I just accepted that was fine. Oh, baby, your love was crazy. All over the time you gave me. Oh,
Hey, I'm Felicia Michelle here with Buzz, and I am getting a chance to talk to Grammy Award-winning, not nominated, but award-winning singer, songwriter Joss Stone. Hey, Joss.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, darling. It's great.
Know what is great? What's great is that we can stop asking, where's Joss? Where's Joss? Where's Joss? Joss is here. You just dropped an amazing new single. I checked out the video last night. Talk to me about the single and about the process of making that video.
Well, okay, so the single is titled Never Forget My Love, and the album's the same title. It's really, I mean, it's about the feeling that you get, you know, when you're in a relationship, you might be in a relationship for a year, it might even be a month, but it may not last forever. And when those relationships break, it's almost like you have to grieve like a death sometimes. It's like they disappear, they're gone forever. And you have to somehow forget them. And I think that's the saddest part, is you shouldn't forget that, because they're part of your life, they're part of who you are. So that's what the song's about in a nutshell, really. It's what helped grow you, you know, whether it was a good one or a bad one, you learn from it. So Never Forget My Love. And I mean, the video, everyone's in shock because I'm wearing the glitter onesie.
I love that. It looks so good. I was like, oh my God, I love this outfit. It's amazing.
Oh gosh, it was really, it's a lovely one. I picked it because I made the record with Dave Stewart, who is very fabulous.
The legendary
like,
Dave Stewart.
Yeah, he is a legend, and he is that outfit. And he wasn't around for the video, so I thought, I saw it on the rack, and I thought I'd never normally wear that, but being that Dave's not here, ode to Dave, I wore it, and now everyone's like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that. So yeah, it might be my new thing. Hey.
I know. I mean, it's very sparkly. I mean, it's very festive, and it kind of gave me like the little like Christmas spirit vibes. I know that you love Christmas, and it's one of your favorite holidays. One of my favorite holidays too, honestly. And you have, yeah, and you also are going to be giving us a little Christmas present, like for your second single. Is it New Year's Eve, right? It's dropping New Year's Eve?
Yeah. So we've got on Instagram, we've done an advent calendar. So every day we've just given like little hints for the album, maybe like a piece of a lyric, sometimes a little piece of the video or a piece of the backstage from that. We've done like raffles, we've done all sorts of stuff each day to try and fill the 25 days of Christmas. I love advent calendars. I've had them every year for my life. You know, the little bits of chocolate you get, it's so fun. So we've made that on the Instagram. And on the 24th day, I believe we might possibly be releasing the next single, which is going to be cool. So I hope you like it. It's a deep one, that's for sure.
I mean, well, essentially, like you're what a lot of what we've been waiting for. And I think it's so cool. You were saying to do the advent calendar on social media. Now, social media in the landscape of when you first dropped, or you're a new artist, and now is like completely different. Do you like it, or do you like it because maybe like you can engage a little bit more, or does it kind of off? But not everybody's for social media. Not everyone loves social media like that. Do you like it?
You know what? I do. I like it because it's entertaining when I'm really bored, so I can like flick through reels. I always do that. So for my own entertainment, I like that people are always making funny. It's always funny, often, you know, funny things or heartwarming things for us to look at when we're bored.
You're coming into 2022, into the new year, you know, with this new album. How did that come about, getting to work with David Stewart?
Well, I've worked with him since I was about 17, on and off. So he was making the soundtrack to the movie Alfie. It was a remake, and oh, that soundtrack is lovely. He did a wonderful job, and that was the first gig I had with Dave. So for some reason, he must have heard my voice, I don't know where, and just asked if I could come and sing. And I'm glad he did, because we started a friendship from that point on. And it's years ago now. And then since then, we've done all sorts. We made a band with Mick Jagger and Damian Marley and A.R. Rahman, which was like amazing. That was like an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, saying it even sounds like a dream. You're just like naming all these amazing, talented people. You're like, yep, everybody's here. Yeah.
It was the most amazing experience, but I had that because of Dave. In between times, we were talking about ideas for music. I just said, Dave, I'd love to make a record kind of like really more sophisticated, you know, really dramatic, like how Burt Bacharach made music, like the Dusty Springfield and Dionne Warwick type tunes. And I never thought I could actually do that, because I'm a singer. I can sing those songs, but how to put them together, you really need a musician's mind. So he was like, let's do it. I'm like, okay. It gets the guitar out and we just started to begin. And then how we were coming up with the songs, it was just me and Dave, and we would be like, yeah, and then the strings will go like this and the drums will go like this, and all the ideas we had in those few days, they happened a few months later in Nashville in a studio, and it was like exactly as we had planned it. And I thought, wow, this is happening now. So it's all just come together, and it's being released on his record label, Bay Street Records. So it's all nice, really.
That's amazing. You just never know how people will touch your life and how like your life touches other people. And your music has touched a lot of people, Joss. So let me know just what's next and where we can, you know, find you on social.
Okay, so right. Well, I've got my Instagram, and I've got my Facebook, and I've got my Twitter, and I guess that's the three, isn't it?
That's TikToking yet. You gotta get on TikTok and the kids do the dance.
Yes, I know, but you know what? TikTok, I don't know what to do on TikTok. I have got a TikTok, you know, and I have made a few, and I thought, this is bloody ridiculous. So my friend Brian, he does now, TikTok is like his job. He is like, don't worry, I'll sort this out. You know, this is what you've got to do, Joss. You've got to go on TikTok, get a package that you get, and open it. So you can go on there and you can see me. Yeah. I've fucking done it. Oh, excuse me. I've gone on there and I have gone, right, I'm going to open this package. And everyone freaks out over it. Yeah. Why? It's crazy. And I'll go and I'll be like, here you go, here's the song. No one cares about it. So it's like a whole other world. Like I said, I'm not very good with it, but I will try, because I know people like it. I'll do my best.
People love it.
Something funny, or maybe I'll just put Violet on there, or my dogs. I could do that.
Babies and dogs do very well on TikTok. Add your music to it, and I think you have a winning combination right there.
Good tip. Babies, dogs, music. That's got to be good, isn't it?
It's got to be. I'll give it a like. You got my like.
I need coaching, darling. I can't do this on my own.
No, it takes a village. Man, Josh, you're literally amazing, and your spirit is definitely coming through. The spirit of Christmas is coming through, and this is a beautiful gift that you're giving us with the new single and a new album coming up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Enjoy your day. I'm Joss Stone, and you have just been buzzed.
Breaking Each Other's Heart will drop on Christmas Eve, and Never Forget My Love is out now. That's all we have. Special thanks to Jason Lee, Felicia Michelle, and Joss Stone. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and double tap us on Instagram, all at @buzz_access. Before we go, we're gonna leave you with Never Forget My Love. I'm Trey Rich, love and light to you all. We got 6 more days till Christmas. Spend that money. Get me a gift. Stalk me.
Oh, baby, your love is crazy. All of the time you gave me. Oh, baby, it drives me crazy.
more stories and extended clips, go to thebuzzallaccess.com. I'm Trey Rich, and you've just been buzzed.